CSGO Pro Tactics Mirage. Hello gamers, welcome to Gaming Daily Input. It's almost as sure as taxes that if you already played CSGO online a couple of times, you must have landed on Mirage at least once. For years, this sandy demolition arena has been one of the most popular maps in both the casual online play and during tournament matches of pro competitions. Mastering Mirage isn't an easy task, but we got you covered. Today, we'll have a look at CSGO Pro Tactics Mirage. The general idea is to take control over one area at a time and limit the number of angles you have to check as you attack the bomb site. I'd suggest that you put in a few extra hours learning grenades on Mirage. This tactic was executed by Team Liquid in their match versus NIP at FACEIT Major London 2018 and was used to stamp out NIP's hopes for a comeback. And this is one of our favorites. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Gaming Daily Input. And let's begin. The idea of the round is to totally isolate the B site with smokes, which allows the Ts to focus on fewer positions. Here's the round execution by roles. Player 1, T-spawn. He throws his smoke, which blooms up between the two columns of the B plant area in front of the kitchen window and blocks the CT's views of a B palace rush execution. Since it's fairly complicated to throw, here are some instructions for you so that you can throw it precisely. Move toward the B site from T-spawn and stand in the corner where the wall and the gate intersect, with the gate on your right and the wall directly behind you, looking toward the B site. Set your crosshair in the middle of the lantern. Start moving forward and execute a jump throw when the crosshair crosses the black wooden beam. After throwing his smoke, he follows his teammates to throw his flashbangs over the B apt's roof towards the B site. Player 2, stairs left side. His objective is to throw his smoke toward Catwalk's right arch. Follow his teammates toward B apartments and throw 2 flashbangs over the B apartment's roof toward the B site. Player 3, stairs right side. This player throws his smoke toward the Catwalk's left arch and helps his teammates enter the site by throwing flashbangs over the B apartment's roof toward the B plant area. If thrown correctly, these 2 smokes from Player 2 and Player 3 totally cut off Catwalk. This doesn't allow the CT on Cat to play safely from a long distance, forcing him to secure the uncovered position from up close with a high probability of being flashed. Player 4, the entry fragger. The entry fragger runs straight toward B apartments with his smoke in hand, ready to extinguish the CT's molly thrown toward his position by default at the beginning of the round. Player 5, the traitor. This player's objective is to enter the site right after his entry fragger with the weapon in hand, trying to trade him. The B site defender threw his molly closer to the B apartment's exit, while the T's entry fragger had anticipated it, flaring up in a different position, where he had already thrown his smoke beforehand, as noted above. The traitor didn't have a smoke in hand to complete the entry fragger's objective, which would have allowed the T's to enter the B site as planned. Fake B rush. It's pretty obvious that after several fast B-site executions, your opponent will get used to your strat and will make the necessary rotations as soon as they spot some of the specific nades you've used in previous attempts. That's the reason you need to have a fake B-rush in your arsenal, which will force your opponent into making mistakes while trying to predict your actions. Cloud9 executed this type of round in their match versus Space Soldiers at Blast Pro Series Istanbul. Player 1, T-spawn. He throws the smoke toward the start of the B apartments to cut off the CT's vision of his positioning from the van. This one is quite complicated as well, so here are some instructions to throw it precisely. Stand in the bottom right corner of T-spawn with the trash can behind you and the wall on the right looking toward CT window. Choose SG and set the SG model in the following way. Find the 2 wooden beams on each side of the black window, choosing the right beam. Start moving forward using Shift and execute a jump throw when your crosshair crosses the wooden roof. Then he moves toward A apartments. Player 2, B apartments. This player moves straight toward B apartments, throwing his smokes toward the window with bars to cut off the CT's views of this position from the B plant area and the kitchen. After the smoke, he waits for a flashbang from player 4 and enters the site, trying to get a frag. As the site is totally isolated by smokes, the positions he checks are van, B plant area, and bench forest. Player 3, manhole, and player 4, stairs right side. Here is an alternative way to throw the previously mentioned smokes toward left and right arches of the catwalk. After the smokes, player 3 rotates toward T-ramp, while player 4 moves towards B apartments, throwing a flashbang for player 2 toward the B site over the B apartment's roof, and rotates toward the underpass. Making his way toward the connector, he gathers information about CT rotations on catwalk and window and either tries to deny those rotations or becomes a part of the A site execution through the connector, helping his teammates at T-ramp and A apartments. Player 5 moves straight towards T-ramp at the very beginning of the round. The idea is to put B site defenders under pressure from the very beginning of the round by totally isolating B site with smokes, thereby convincing them that it is going to be a B site execution, which will make the A site defenders rotate toward the B site. This leaves the A site defended by, at best, 2 CTs and gets you a 3v2 or a 4v2 advantage while executing on the A site. So, as soon as you get the information about the CT's rotation toward the B site, start the A site execution from A apartments, T-ramp, and connector without using any grenades. And you will definitely win the round. Well, thank you for staying with us until the end. We wish you the best as you use these tactics on your road to become a global elite. And please don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Gaming Daily Input. See you soon.